If you've just bought an AEROPRESS and are about to start making your very first coffee, I want to stop you before you make these mistakes. Welcome back to About Coffee, where we talk about all different things coffee. And today we're talking about the AEROPRESS, and I'm going to fill you in on some mistakes that I want you to not make. Now, the AEROPRESS is one of my favorite brewers and a great place to start off if you are getting into coffee. It is such a versatile brewer. You can use loads of different recipes with it, which is very cool. You can also take it out and about with you and brew in different locations, which is also an amazing thing to be able to do with your coffee brewer. I have used mine so much that, as you might be able to see, the AEROPRESS logo is usually here, and unfortunately mine has washed away because I've used it so many times and I've been cleaning it. So let's dive into the mistakes that I want to avoid you from doing. The first mistake that you can make is using a dry filter paper. Now, you get these paper filter papers with your AEROPRESS. They come with it, and then you can order new ones when you've run out. But the thing that you definitely don't want to use is to brew it with a dry one. Now, what you want to do is wet your filter paper beforehand. The reason for that is that your coffee can taste very papery if you don't pre-wet your filter paper. So that is the first mistake that you should definitely avoid. Now, the next thing isn't necessarily a mistake, but something that I can give you a little tip on to do with your filter papers. Now, a lot of people will just use one filter paper, but I would always recommend using two. Now, the reason I would do that is that when you pour water onto your coffee and your filter papers, it will often drip through very quickly, but by having two, it creates just that higher level of barrier, and therefore when you push down, it will extract a much cleaner cup of coffee. Now, on the topic of losing water quickly with your AEROPRESS brewing, there's two different types of ways to brew your AEROPRESS. Now, there's inverted, which is where you pour your coffee in and pour your water in when the AEROPRESS is like this, and there's also traditional, which is where you take the plunger off and you put coffee in and then you pour your water on top here. Now, this is a very good way. It's the traditional way of brewing your AEROPRESS, but what can happen is you lose a lot of water before you're even ready to go because it's already dripped through, and that's definitely not something you want from your extracted cup of coffee, as it will be very under extracted. So the way in which you'd prevent that is to speed up your pour with your water. So make sure when you're pouring your water in, you do it quickly. Now, if you need to do a stir afterwards, and that's what the recipe requires, that's fine. You've poured it through, you can stir your coffee, and then the way to stop your water leaking out is to put the plunger in like so. What that does is it creates a vacuum, so it stops dripping through. So that is the second way to stop water going through. The first of which is to use two filter papers, and the second of which is to make sure you pour quickly and put the plunger on as quickly as possible. Now, one of the joys of the AEROPRESS is that it is very easy to clean, but there is a rumor that all you need to do is to pop off the cap and then push the puck out and you're all good. That's clean. What I would recommend though is not to do that. What I would do is push that puck out and then definitely give it a rinse and a good little scrub down. As you can see from mine, like I said, the logo has come off because I have cleaned mine down, but it's a very good idea to be cleaning up your AEROPRESS, because otherwise you get little bits of residue and things like that left in it, and therefore you're not getting that clean cup of coffee that the AEROPRESS can create. So there you have it, guys, some really simple mistakes to avoid when brewing an AEROPRESS. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments below so that I can hear about how your brewing method is going. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as we have loads of different AEROPRESS recipes coming here all the time, so I would hate for you to miss out, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode of About Coffee.